Hello, gang. This is it. This is the UI video. Many people have been commenting and asking for how to get the import code or information for how I have my UI set up. And so I figured instead of commenting, replying to multiple comments and a bunch of different videos, I will just put some work in, throw a video together, and walk you guys through exactly what you'll need to recreate what I've got here and provide some import codes so you can literally just yoink exactly what I've got and either tweak it or use it as is. If you like how it looks, then my goal is to give it to you that way. So, number of add-ons here, we're going to go through the list and I'm going to link CurseForge links to all of the add-ons that we talk about here below. Um, all the relevant information should be in the description, so just if you need links for something, check it out. So we're going to start with the easy stuff first. I would recommend getting some kind of action bars add-on just because the default Blizzard stuff is somewhat limited. I like to use Bartender um, just because the lets you fully hide them. I hide all my action bars down here because I don't need to see what stuff is bound to. I know it, it's memorized, and I'm trying not to look down at my bars. The relevant information that I need ability-wise is here in the cooldown manager, so we just ignore that. If you want to play action bars, go for it. If you want to move those around, do your thing. I like Bartender. There's other ones out there. Just lets me. I've been using it for years. It's the first one I got, configured it the way I've got, and it's been this way for a long time. So this is just the one I've got for action bars. I use an add-on for like QOL features and reskinning of things, and that one is called MUI, or Maleo UI. This is the spiritual successor to SUI. Kind of gives you this nice little dark theme that I think just looks way better than the Blizzard default, and gives you access to some nice um, stuff here where it's just like it declines tools, it gets rid of talking heads, it will auto repair, it will let me quick delete, that kind of thing. I have a lot of the other stuff in here like action bars and unit frames, so it's way more powerful than what I'm using it for, just for like reskinning and QOL features. But that is MUI. For my damage meters here, I'm just using details. It's reduced in functionality in 12.0 here compared to what it was before, but that's due to Blizzard's limitations on what API and what info is available to a damage meters add-on. So really it's reskinning the Blizzard damage meters, but I just think it looks so much better, so I'm still using it. And like, there's still nice breakdown of information in here. Hopefully Blizzard continues to add functionality back into this. The death stuff is super useful. Now, for our nameplates, this one has come up quite a bit. We're still using Plater, so not Platinator, but I've heard really good things about it. We're just using Plater. Plater is still very much compatible with 12.0. It has some reduced functionality around the scripting and modding that you could do before. Changing stuff based on conditionals is not really a thing anymore. That's okay. We're just using the Jundi's profile. So I will link the Jundi's profile with the Plater add-on in the description. You just go here, you import the Jundi's code off of Wago. That will give you basically the colors and size and formatting for these. The only thing that I changed in Plater was going to buff settings and checking the show all debuffs casted by you. This is what makes Ignite and Control Destruction display on nameplates, which it will not do that by default. You do not need to track these things on nameplates to be effective with them, but it's a sanity thing. I want to know that my Ignite's spreading to stuff, so I use that. Getting into some stuff that's going to require some more configuring or copying an import code is going to be nameplates. So we have the nameplate add-on that I'm using here is called Unhalted Unit Frames /UUF. This lets you do, player target, target as target, pet stuff, focus, focus target, boss. So you can see like here's how I have my boss stuff positioned. This is also what I'm using for my cast bar as well. So the cast bar that displays here is happening from Unhalted Unit Frames. The import code for this I will provide in so whenever I'm talking about these import codes, I'm going to paste a paste bin link in the description that contains the import codes for everything that relates to it. You'll go here into profiles, you'll import the UUF string, and that will give you the same settings as me and put them in the same places. So if you're going to if you want it to look exactly like this, use my import code. If you want to just use the add-on and tweak it the way you want it, just do the add-on link, install it, and configure it the way that you want. Or you can always take my stuff and tweak it, right? Once you've imported it, you can mess with it and do whatever you want to do. All right. For the kind of edit mode, raid frames, which for me I display here, party frames are here. I will provide an edit mode import, and that can be done, I think you do /edit mode, right? So this can be done from the layout import as well. So if you want to copy exactly how I have my stuff here on screen, you can hit import and copy the edit code import here. That will give you kind of this stuff is going to be done by ArcUI for the CDM stuff, but that's mostly going to be for raid and party frames. I use bigwig timers, so like my bigwig stuff is kind of separate from this, but if you want to use the Blizzard timer, you could change this position, right? All right. The CDM import is another thing that's going to be linked in there. So you'll go into CDM, you'll hit import, and you'll copy the thing that's labeled CDM import code into this. This will give you the buttons that we need in CDM. So we're tracking combustion and meteor. We're tracking a number of utility and defensive cooldowns here, right? And then we're also doing some buff tracking and some bars for stuff like combustion, hyperthermia, and then we're tracking buffs like Fired Up, Glorious Incandescence, Heat Shimmer, Pyroclasm, and then for FF, we're tracking Frostfire Empowerment. And that will switch depending on hero spec, and that's all going to be in here. So first we need to get the buttons right, and that's what the CDM import is for. Once you have that CDM import done, the add-on you're going to want is called ArcUI. This is what is actually making it look the way that it is and giving us the glorious fire blasts as rectangles that I could not live without. Personally, I hate fire blasts as a square. Give me rectangles that fill up. It's so much easier to visually parse that information. So to do this ArcUI import, there's going to be two different imports. You're going to go into ArcUI, go to import and export, and here to this import tab. There's going to be one for the icons, one for the bars. So one is taking care of all these icons and this arrangement, and then the other one is taking care of the combustion, hyperthermia durations, as well as the fire blast charges. These are the 3 bars that are part of it. That will give you this little square. Feel free to tweak this. I'm not going to go into the details on like how to mess around with ArcUI because I am trying to keep this somewhat concise to like copying my UI and giving you the add-on list, but just know that there's a lot of customization here in ArcUI that you can do in terms of layout, in terms of how things are displayed, in terms of the position, how big the buttons are, the order that they're in, and so on. So if you need to mess with this, go for it. The last thing that we get questions on is this kick the interrupt tracker. It's called X-Win Tools. I will warn you right now, it is janky. It is janky. That is not reliable, all right? But if you want to try it, X-Win Tools, you go into modules, you're going to want to turn off everything except interrupt tracker. If you want to look at the other stuff that's available in there, go for it. I was just really installing it for this. That'll give you this. We've noticed it doesn't work all the time, especially if like you and somebody else both kick something. It won't realize that the other person like missed their kick if they did it a second after you or something like that. It's not like OmniCD. It's not as good as OmniCD. Don't expect it to work like OmniCD did. Cool. Okay, so that is every single add-on that you need here. All of them will be linked in the description. The Jundi's profile will be linked in the description for Plater. I will have the paste bin link with the relevant import codes for my unhauled unit frames, Blizzard edit mode, Blizzard CDM, and ArcUI settings so that you can copy that exactly and use what I've got. And that should cover it. So now the comments will stop and we can just send them to the UI video, right? That's the win. We win now. If you made it this long, thanks everybody for stopping by. Hopefully this helps you guys have a nice, clean, and efficient UI. And we never want this to be a barrier, right? We want it to just help us play better. That's the goal. Um, Thanks for tuning in, checking out the channel. We'll return to our regularly scheduled Mythic Plus and Raid content shortly. Take care.